Hello and welcome to a new video. I have uploaded on this channel in the past, but I want to focus on uploading football related videos and sort of having a debate and a discussion around football, because I know so many people love it like myself. So I want to create content in which we can discuss the Premier League, the Champions League, international football as well. So in today's video, I will be covering the Champions League, and I will be predicting who's gonna win, who's gonna take the coveted big ears trophy, as they call us. So the teams remaining in the competition are Bayern Munich, PSG, Man City, Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Porto, and Chelsea. So we have reached the quarterfinal stage now, and we sort of have a bit of insight and info as to who could progress all the way to the final. Now, there's some really interesting ties and situations that could come up en route to the final in Istanbul. So let's have a look at the first fixture. Bayern Munich versus PSG. Now, Bayern Munich beat Lazio in the previous round 6-2 on aggregate. Bayern Munich are doing incredibly well in the league. Lewandowski is absolutely firing in the goals. He is en route to a Ballon d'Or, and Bayern Munich are sitting fairly comfortably at the top of the Bundesliga, 4 points clear, and I believe still 7 games to go. So the title isn't secure, but they're looking pretty good for another title. Their last game, they beat Stuttgart 4-0, and that was with a red card for Alphonso Davies. But Bayern are just absolutely incredible. As for PSG doing not that great in the league, to be honest. They're tied on 63 points at the top with Lille, which is quite unusual for them to have not wrapped up the Liga title by this stage of the season. But I think that might serve them well, because sometimes teams start to slack a little bit once they have already won the league. So I don't think that's too bad of a issue, if you might like to call it, for PSG. They beat Barcelona 5-2 in the round of 16. Barcelona with great players nonetheless, even though they have a lot of issues within the squad and the club and the financial difficulties. But they've still got Messi, they've still got players like Griezmann, Ter Stegen, PK, and they managed to beat them 5-2. And it was over in the first leg. I think it was 4-1 to PSG. Mbappe scored the hat-trick. Mbappe is just an incredible player. So I think it's going to be a good game. A repeat of last year's final, in which Bayern came out 1-0 winners with the Kingsley Coman goal. But if I was to predict this, I would say Bayern would have a little bit too much for PSG. I just think Bayern do concede goals, but they are one of the most fluent attacking teams. So I'm going to predict 4-2 to Bayern Munich. Moving on, Manchester City versus BVB. So looking at Manchester City, I believe they haven't conceded a goal in 7 games in the Champions League. This included a 4-0 victory over Borussia Mönchengladbach in the round of 16. Very convincing. 2-0 in both legs. They're doing fantastically well this season. I think many would argue they are the best team in Europe. And you have to take them seriously. It must be stated that they haven't got that pedigree in Europe. They've had a lot of trouble under Pep in the Champions League. They've lost to Tottenham, they've lost to Liverpool, and most recently to Lyon. And in that quarterfinal against Lyon, they rested players, which was a terrible mistake. Pep changed the system completely. They thought they were already through to the semi-final, however he was wrong. And I think that game sums up the Champions League for Manchester City. They just can't even get to the semi-finals, let alone the final, let alone win the Champions League. However, they do seem like they're a different animal this season. They're completely walking the league. The league's completely over already. What's it, 14 points clear with 8 games to go. Really unbelievable. Their players have worked so well as a team together. I don't think there's been an individual, but the likes of Cancelo, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Diaz, Stones, everyone in that team has worked so hard and they've been brilliant. As for Borussia Dortmund, they scraped through in the last round. 5-4 against Sevilla. They are essentially relying on one man, and that man is Erling Braut Haaland. Now Dortmund are coming 5th in the league, 4 points behind 4th place, and that 4th place is essential for them. So you can't look past Man City in this game. I think it's going to be an easy result, easy game for Manchester City. 6-1 is my prediction. Now for Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Firstly, looking at Real Madrid. They're currently 3rd in La Liga, behind Atletico Madrid in 1st and Barcelona in 2nd. They're relying quite heavily on Benzema, but they've got other players and players that have won the Champions League before. So they've got experience, they've got know-how. The club are built on their Champions League success. They know how to win Champions Leagues. And they've got a presence about them in this competition. Liverpool, very much like Real Madrid, have also got this presence. A bigger presence in the Champions League than any other English club, as we've won it 6 times. As you can see, I'm a Liverpool fan. This season, though, it's been a struggle. And you can look at the fact that we have been missing players like Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip, Jota for a large part of the season. And now we've got the injury of Henderson, which is a big, big miss. But there's no excusing our position in the table. Last season, I believe we finished on something like 99 points. And now we're currently sitting on 46 with 9 games to go. We're behind West Ham, we're behind Leicester, Spurs, Chelsea, Man United and Manchester City. The likelihood is Liverpool aren't going to make top 4 because there's a 5-point gap separating us from Chelsea in 4th. So the only way for Liverpool to make Champions League next year is seemingly winning this competition. And although it may seem crazy, I wouldn't put it past Liverpool to surprise everyone and take number 7. This game, Real Madrid versus Liverpool, I think it's going to be a very close encounter. I don't think there's going to be a lot between the two teams. Real Madrid beat Atalanta 4-1 in the previous round. Liverpool beat Leipzig 4-0. So both teams have been doing very well in the Champions League. And I'm just going to go with a gut feeling. I think Liverpool are going to sneak it 3-2 on aggregate. And the last game, the quarterfinal, Porto versus Chelsea. Now, firstly, I won't lie, I don't know a lot about the Portuguese league, but I do know that Porto are currently sitting in second position in the Premier League, 10 points behind Sporting in first place. So there's a clear focus for them. It's going to be trying to go as far as possible in the Champions League. And I must say, I've been very impressed with Porto. They beat Juventus 4-4 on aggregate, on away goals. And I like a lot of their players. I think Pepe, Jesus Corona, Musa Marego, and especially Sergio Oliveira are fantastic players. As for Chelsea beat Atletico Madrid 3-0 in the last round, which is no mean feat. This Chelsea team, it was looking like this season was going to sort of teeter out and they weren't going to have any success at all under Frank Lampard. But Thomas Tuchel, he's come in, and I believe they haven't lost a single game in about 11 or 12 matches. They are keeping clean sheets almost every single game, and they're looking fantastic. And while they're not scoring an awful amount of goals, I do believe that will come in time. I think Thomas Tuchel has laid a great foundation at Chelsea. And I think Chelsea are gonna beat Porto. I think it will be 3-1. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I think Porto will be up for it, but I think Chelsea are going to have a bit too much. Moving on to the semi-finals then. The first semi-final, Bayern Munich versus Manchester City. Now, this would arguably have been the better final. If both of these teams could have played in the final, it would have been absolutely brilliant. I think they're probably the two strongest teams in the whole tournament. Bayern Munich having won last season and looking equally as strong this season, and Manchester City looking like the best team in Europe at the moment. If I had to predict a result, I would say Bayern are going to edge it on away goals 2-2. I just think they have a little bit more luck in the Champions League. I think Manchester City, I think the fact that they haven't succeeded in the Champions League, I think that's going to sort of sit in Pep's mind and maybe cause him to make a few mistakes tactically, and the players as well. So I think I'll just give it to Bayern 2-2 win on away goals. Second semi-final, Liverpool versus Chelsea. Now, Liverpool and Chelsea have met in the past in the semi-final stage, 2005, en route to Istanbul, just like this year. Liverpool won. Liverpool managed to win thanks to Luis Garcia ghost goal, very famous. But it pains me to say it, I don't think Liverpool have enough to go all the way to the final this year. I think we'll put up a good fight. I think it will be a tight game, a close game. I think Klopp will be really up for the battle versus Tuchel. But I think our defense is just not experienced enough, and I think we're going to lose that game 2-1. And that brings us to the final. Bayern Munich versus Chelsea. This is a tough one to predict. I have a real feeling about Chelsea this season. I think they're looking brilliant. I think their players are really up for it this season. But Bayern Munich, I think they're experienced. They're a little bit too strong in absolutely every department. And I think they're going to win in extra time. I think it's going to be 1-1. And they're going to win 2-1 after extra time. So there we have it. Bayern Munich, winners of the Champions League for the 7th time in their history. And for the 2nd time in a row. Thank you for watching the video. Hopefully I can do more of these and potentially can do live watch-alongs. And cheers, thanks for watching.